Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're back. We are talking about Banshee's Homecoming episode. If you haven't had opportunity to watch that, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. Homecoming. While in New York, Job visits a priest with ties to Rabbit. Carrie's relationship with Gordon faces a new test following another revelation. Let me just go ahead and begin with the episode. It was amazing. It was amazing. You know, obviously we're talking about 10 out of 10 stars. This tonight's episode was Job's episode, and I'm really actually fascinated and surprised and happy because his character is so interesting, man, and so powerful and just dynamic in so many different ways, man. And whenever Job is on screen, it's comedy, but it's also this level of seriousness within the character that you can't help but just love this character. I love that about that character, man, and I think that's really really cool, man. You had Job in this. It was like this. It was like a cop drama, if you will. Job was on this mission, man. He was breaking into a church in New York that the character called Eulish, who is also known as Jor-El in Smallville, had his brother Rabbit down in the basement, man. So, Job's whole mission was to find Rabbit. And he finds him, man, which is crazy to me because, every time I see, Rabbit on the screen, I get nervous. I think there's just death, and it was no different tonight. As soon as you seen Rabbit, I was like, okay, Job, either, pull the trigger or run. My decision always is going to tell any of the characters on the screen, I'm going to tell them to run because I don't want them to die. I want them to live forever, period. And so I was like, yo, run. And it was just too late because Eulish was there behind Job, and he had a gun to his head, and he was like, well, who are you? Let's find out who you are. I mean, that's my attempt at a Russian accent right there. That was pretty good. I want to, let me put this pistol to your head, and I'll find out who you are. And after that, it cut, man. It did the intro, and then after that, it came back, and Rabbit is Job is tied to a chair, being interrogated, beaten by Eulish's men, and the goons of Eulish, I guess you can say. And then after that, man, Job was like, okay, this really isn't going to happen. I'm going to let you think that you have the advantage, and then after that, I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass on you. And that's exactly what happened, man. Like, I've never seen... I remember that first episode where Job was downstairs inside of his building with the computers, and then Rabbit's henchman came in there, and he came down there, and they started slapping Job around, and then Job was like, wait, okay, I'll give you what you want. It's in the safe, let me get out of here for a second. And he walked out, and then he walks into the alleyway, walks down that long hallway, walks to the alleyway where the dude, his friend, has his car started. He hits that trigger that's around his neck, and it blows up the building. And what was so crazy about that is that, Job didn't move. Even with the explosion, he didn't blink. I was like, what are we watching? Like, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that because that's what, like, really hooked me into Banshee. Besides, the car flipping over, when Lucas Hood was shooting that car and Carrie had him in the back and all that stuff. But that was the scene I was like, wow. I was like, yo, this character Job he's probably one of the top characters on the show. There's no denying that, man. You're like, what? And then, obviously fast forwarding, man, where he was in the restaurant, man. And then all of a sudden, he, those dudes were harassing him. And then he walked over there, man, and broke a plate on one of their heads, and that was what happened tonight, man. He fought his way out, broke this chair, dismembered like 4 or 5 dudes, shot like 10 dudes, and then he's running out the church, man. And he ends up running out of ammo because he shoots his last like 2 bullets, man, at these 2 guys, trying to get them to duck so he can run out of there. He runs out the church. There's a guy waiting out in the front of the church, man. He starts fighting them. You know what I'm saying? There's punches flying. There's elbows dropping and stuff. And then he gets that dude. He beats him up, and then he runs across the street, man. And as soon as he runs across the street, man, Boom, man. He gets hit by a car, man. Yeah, Job gets hit. He gets hit, man. He gets hit by a car, and there's nothing we can do, man. There's nothing you can do. You're just sitting there in your chair, on your couch, wherever you're at, man. You're just sitting there, and for me, I screamed, man. I literally, man, screamed at the top of my lungs. I don't even know what I said, but it was just like, "Ah! No!" You know, because that's all you can do. There's nothing you can do except just sit there and pretty much just pray to God that that he's okay. Because I'm telling you, man, it wasn't like just a regular, you know, somebody walks, you know, runs across the street that you see in most shows, and they get hit. They usually, you know, they get hit by the car. The stunt dude, you know, he jumps up on the hood, goes a little bit into the windshield to where it cracks the windshield, then rolls back off the car. That's usually how it happens in Hollywood, man. That's usually how it happens in cinema. But this one was actually Job getting hit by the car. His body hit the hood of the car, hit the windshield of the car, flew up in the air, landed on the ground, and then almost got ran over by another car. Yeah, take that in for a second, man. And it was a taxi cab out of all things, you know, it was a taxi cab that hit him. I mean, let's just be honest. It was crazy. You know, they should slow down in the city. How about that? Yeah, man. So, you know, we got Job's character, man, that got hit by a car, and then we immediately cut from there over to the Bowtie Man. So you don't know what's going on with Job's character. You're sitting there frustrated, and then all of a sudden, you know, the Bowtie Man arrives. And check this out. This is what when I was talking about in the beginning, is that, you know, how amazing, you know, the creative team at Banshee and on at Cinemax and in Banshee, excuse me, are, because you're worried about this character Job. All of a sudden, the Bowtie Man comes in, and he's going into the room of the skinhead that killed Emmett's baby and beat up Emmett's wife. So Sharp's sitting in the bed. He's injured. Obviously, he's injured. And the Bowtie Man walks in there, and we find out that the Bowtie Man is working with Proctor. We officially find that out. We find out that Proctor has blamed the skinhead, Sharp, for the explosion inside of the factory. And he also blames him because apparently Sharp's been talking to the FBI and some other people. And the Bowtie Man kills Sharp. So, you know, while you should be, you know, trying to mourn Job, you're now cheering a little bit and also disgusted by the events that have taken place with the death of Sharp. So you don't really know what to do except just you know, your emotions are everywhere in the show, man. There's no denying that. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I mean, we're talking about Friday night, and you know, a show that's been on. This is the second season. We're almost at the end of the second season. There's only one more episode left, but man, it's an emotional roller coaster, man. There's no denying it. There's nothing else you can really say, man. Besides that, like it's crazy. After the Bowtie Man kills Sharp, he goes to Proctor's strip club to deal with Juliet, man, the stripper. And this scene inside the strip club was absolutely perfection, man. The music, I don't know who sung this song, but oh man, this music was so good, man. You know, and they weren't like showing anything. It was just, you know, it was all focused on the Bowtie Man, showing him, you know, panning right as he walked, man, and just showing him, man, and focused in on all, you know, as he's walking towards the camera. And that's it. They go from this back view where he's walking straight forward, the camera's following him, and you see him start, you know, pulling out that wire and then gripping it, and the music's going along with it. Then all of a sudden they kind of cut and paste a little bit, fade in, fade out with Juliet in her face and what's going on with her inside our dressing room. And then he gets up to the door and he opens the door and the stripper's gone, man. And what they show in between those scenes is Rebecca, man. Rebecca has, I don't know if it's a change of heart, man. I think that she just, you know, with the situation with her and Proctor because of this, I'm not even going to mention it. Like I tell you, I'm not mentioning that stuff. But what's going on with them, I think that she kind of understands that there's something wrong with Proctor, man. Like, you know, and if you can, try to protect something, try to do something right if you can out of this crazy situation, because you made your choice. You have to live with that, but these other people haven't made a choice yet. They haven't, you know, they don't even get a choice. So I think Rebecca's character is now allowing some of these people that Proctor wants the Bowtie Man to deal with, you know, she wants to help them and give them a choice. And the choice is to go, you know, get your son, get out of here, don't come back, man. Well, now we have a conflict between the Bowtie Man and Rebecca. That's the conflict now. And these are the words from him. He says, "I don't trust you." And Rebecca replies back, "I don't give a shit." And you're sitting here just like, what? So now, man, now I mean, you know what that means, man. You know what that means already. If the Bowtie Man doesn't trust Rebecca, the Bowtie Man is Kai Proctor's right-hand man. All he has to do is just start whispering in Kai Proctor's ear, Kai who's in jail, who's not straight in the head right now, who's not sane, he doesn't know anything that's going on. The Bowtie Man can say whatever he wants, and now Rebecca is the target. That's where we're sitting at right now. That's how crazy this show is, man. It doesn't make sense, I know. You're sitting here like, whoa, what? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. There's no, you can't really explain it. You can't really explain it, man, besides just saying to yourself like, whoa, like, this is nuts, man. But that's Banshee, though. That's Banshee, man. That's absolutely Banshee, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to pause here, and then after that, we'll come back. We'll start talking about Kai Proctor in prison. We'll talk about what happened between Carrie, Gordon, and Lucas, which is a game changer. And we'll talk about if Job is alive or not. That's something that's up too, man. We're out of here. We'll be right back.